You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Extreme Weight Loss After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Extreme Weight Loss After Show.
All right, we are here with AFTERBUZZ TV with Season 4, Episode 4, Extreme Weight Loss, and I am beyond excited. First of all, my name is Morgan Martin. I don't even know my name. That's how excited I am.
And I'm Jackie Powell, and I'm super excited.
And we are excited because we have on the line Chris Powell, extraordinary trainer himself.
Yes. Everybody gets super... Chris! I'm so excited to just talk to you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing? What did you think of the show tonight?
It was a host of emotions. We cried, we laughed, we screamed, we ran up and down. I mean, I wanted to climb stairs. It was absolutely amazing.
Chris, seriously,
yeah.
My heart is still, it's on overload. It's literally on overload. What can you say? Bruce is amazing. Boom, boom. Right?
Oh, yeah, he really is. And honestly, like, what you see is what you get. That's who he is. And I think that really came across. He is, without a doubt, he's just one of those rare people in the world. And I remember, even at the very end, when I was giving the speech at his finale, I was like, how can I describe him? Like, you can't. You just have to see him to believe him. And he's just one of those rare gems in the world of just a truly authentic, loving, beautiful person. And my life is better because he was in it. He was a part of it, and he truly helped me and my wife Heidi transform. It was just an incredible year altogether, and we're blessed to have him as a friend.
I think you really hit it when you said that he's an angel on earth. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And mark my words, his existence on this earth will impact millions of lives, without a doubt. And like that is on the record. Just watch and see, because this guy is special, and he's going to make a huge difference in this world.
Wow, those are really, really strong words. And, Chris, when you guys are going through all of these letters that I'm sure you get from so many people, what made Bruce's story stand out to you that made you guys want, like, hey, this is who I want to work with? And I'm just going to be totally candid with you here. We didn't know. I mean, you can't feel that kind of genuineness when you're reading a letter. The only thing is, like, when Heidi and I heard his story, we were just, our heart went out to him because we felt for him with everything that he had been through. And when he wrote the letter, he was in a very different place. He was in a really dark place, and he was asking for help. Yeah. And so our heart went out to him, and we wanted to give him a shot. And that's how the whole thing came about. And then, once we met him and once our friendship started to grow, it was just like, just kind of blow the lid off the whole thing. And it was just a wild year altogether. Yeah, and it was absolutely amazing to watch you two just even bloom and blossom in your friendship. But I think one of the biggest reasons, even for us watching, of why Bruce was so inspirational was not only obviously the weight loss, but the fact that he was so vulnerable and open with so many things, and you guys were right there with him the entire step of the way. What was that like for you and Heidi, just sitting even in the courtroom when he had to deal with everything with his dad?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you could tell, especially like by seeing us in there.
Yeah.
It's funny. The funniest thing is that I went through a transformation right there in the courtroom, because when I was in there, I don't know his dad. I just know what his dad had done, and I wanted to jump over that railing and knock the guy out. And this is just my raw emotions, and I just want to be honest with you guys. I was feeling so much animosity toward this man I didn't even know, and I was feeling hatred. And when Bruce got up there and spoke, he spoke from love and compassion and forgiveness. It totally changed my paradigm on the whole situation, and I realized like that's truly those healing emotions. The emotions I was feeling was costing me, and I totally realized like just so much power in the love that Bruce had and the compassion that he had and the forgiveness that he had for his father. And I just realized like that was one of those just pivotal moments even in my life when I walked out of that courtroom and I just went, oh my gosh, like that's true power. And it's the power of love, and it changes everything. And it was just such a remarkable experience for me and for Heidi.
I love that you're always transforming other people's lives, and you're saying right now that Bruce transformed your life. So we didn't even see one transformation on this episode. We saw 2 transformations. So, and what I love.
Oh yeah, and you can definitely chalk Heidi up there as a third because she loves him like her son, and she is definitely Mama Bear when it comes to Bruce. And he'll talk about Heidi. I got to tell you, like, she was such an incredible emotional support for him throughout the year. And so, I mean, he's family now.
That's awesome. And I wanted to ask that because you guys look like best friends. So I wanted to see, I mean, do you guys still get to see each other? How often do you guys get to talk to one another?
Well, I'll let you ask Bruce. Like, we can put it this way. He actually lived with us for the last couple weeks, believe it or not, because he's moving down to Arizona. Oh, yeah, so he's moving down to Arizona. He needed a place to stay, so he stayed with us for the last couple weeks. And then Hides and I, we hit the road for season 5, and he ended up moving in with my best friend from college.
Wow.
He stayed with my best friend from college for the last week, and then we're all going up to Colorado together in a week and a half.
Oh, that's
awesome. And he's one of our coaches in season 5.
Oh, that is great news.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I told you guys, he's going to change a lot of lives. I'm telling you. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, and he already has. I mean, we've been following all the people on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and I mean, countless people after people just keep saying how this has probably been one of the best extreme weight loss episodes that they have seen because he inspired so many people. And we got to watch so many great, amazing moments, especially with you and Bruce. If you could pick one moment for you that was just like the turning point or the most impactful for you, what would you think it would be over the course of that year?
Oh my gosh. You know, it was definitely him addressing his father.
Yeah.
That was the big game for Bruce, and that was his biggest challenge, and that was his biggest victory. It's something that he needed to do, and I remember we spoke about it at the beginning of the year, but at the same time, it was something that, I mean, the more we could create the opportunity, we wanted to be there, but we couldn't force him to do it. It had to be something that it just had to feel right for him, and the timing was right, and it all happened. And that was the most liberating thing for him. And, you know, and like you had mentioned, this has been such an inspirational and motivational story for so many people to see. And what we want everybody to get from that is that, and, you know, Bruce is a shining example of this, is just how the more you can open up and the more you can just release those emotions, it really does take that parking brake off of all of us. Like, we all have those things that we hold inside, and it prevents us from moving forward. And the more we can just open up and be open and real and raw and honest, we can release that parking brake, and we can all reach our utmost potential. And Bruce he's such an incredible example of that.
Absolutely.
And Chris, I just have to say, I love your approach on each and every episode, and everybody that you work with, you use their most deepest, hardest troubles to motivate them. And I'm so surprised because I would think that would actually bring somebody's morale down. But you have such an incredible way of using what holds people back, essentially, and pushing them forward. Where did this come from? Because I would be nervous to be like, to even put somebody in that position, but you do it in such a great way to change these people's lives.
Well, thank you. You know, I guess the whole motivating factor behind that is, you know, typically most of us think that when we're vulnerable, that it's, and this is one of the biggest misconceptions that all humans have. We think that being vulnerable, it really is like being weak, and And that's the last thing that any of us want is to think that we're weak in front of other people, but we don't realize that when you're actually vulnerable and you're open and you're honest, number one, it's the most healing thing for us. It's what we need. But at the same time, when you're like that in front of other people, like you just saw with Bruce tonight, I guarantee not one person in America ever felt he was weak in that. It is the greatest form of courage you could ever have. And when you can get people to open up about those deep and dark things, so terrified at first because they think it's going to cause them to withdraw from other people. Or more than anything, it'll cause other people to withdraw from them. But the opposite happens. And people just need to trust that. The moment they open up, all of a sudden it gives permission to everybody else around them to open up and to heal. And it becomes this amazing experience. And it's like I said, it's just all healing. And it's courage. And it's permission to change for the better. And that's what it's all about.
I mean, so many people watching the show, you know, are looking for something to inspire them or to give them that next step to really go for whatever it is that they're going for, whether it be weight loss or health or even something in their career. And you're such a big motivator for that. What if you had one really big piece of advice for people that just need that little extra motivation? What would you say to them?
Oh, gosh. Well, you know, I mean, there's a couple things. First and foremost, we will continue to do these transformations as long as we live. Because watch these individuals that are going through this journey. They are 400, 500, sometimes 600 pounds. And if they can do it, you can do it too.
Yep.
And we will continue to do these transformations until everybody believes that they can. That's the one thing that all of our individuals, they realize. You know, and sometimes it takes them a week, sometimes it takes them a month or a couple of months. But they all, at one point, actually believe that they can do it. And the moment they believe they can, they do it. And I know it sounds so, you know, so simplistic to say, oh, just believe in yourself. Because a lot of people say, oh, believe in yourself. It's like, great, thanks, believe in myself. You know, everybody says that, right?
Yeah.
But it's such a powerful thing. But the way we can get an individual to believe in themselves is we condense it all into what we call just integrity. It's making one simple promise and keeping that promise to yourself, honoring that promise above anything else, no matter what happens in the day. Like it might just be move for 5 minutes a day, and you know, no matter what happens, and that movie, it could be running around the block, or it could just be marching in place while you're watching TV.
Yeah.
But it's the promise that's so valuable. I'll give you a really quick example. Like Bruce. He values his integrity above anything else. He's a true promise keeper. Oh, yeah. If he promised himself that he was going to run on the treadmill for 30 minutes and I pulled him off at 29, he'd throw a punch at me. And reason being, he would fight me to that last minute. Now, what's a minute when it comes to the weight loss aspect of it? A minute doesn't matter. But there's no power in the treadmill. It's not the treadmill that matters.
Wow.
It's the promise that he made to himself. So if you make a promise to yourself, like the moment an individual becomes a promise keeper, they're unstoppable. Because they will honor the promise to themselves above anything else, above diet and exercise. That diet and exercise mean nothing. But your promise, your integrity is everything. And if you can keep those promises, you will be truly unstoppable.
I could talk to Chris for 5 hours, 10 hours. I mean, motivational speaker next on the resume, who knows? Like, I just love it.
Well, yeah, in fact, I think Bruce and I were going to be doing some stuff in the future, with Heidi, of course. And so, you guys get what I'm saying about the promises. Like, it's cool because the moment you actually get that clicks, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been looking in the wrong place all along. I've been looking at diet and exercise where my whole focus should have been on my promise.
Yes.
And once you get that, it's like, boom, everything happens.
And
so,
can I just say, too? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just saying, can I just say, too, Heidi is like your partner in crime. We love Heidi. This woman was doing push-ups when she was pregnant. And pull-ups.
Oh, yeah, she's hardcore. Yeah.
She is amazing, and I love her too because you guys work so awesome together. And
we are Team Pal Pack all day.
We love you guys.
And just honestly speaking, I would not have the opportunity I have now. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for her. Mm-hmm. And Bruce can attest to that. She is my rock. She is the ultimate life coach. She is so deep on such an emotional level. And what's really cool is actually she and I were co-hosts in season 5 together. So we're on the road right now, surprising our people. We're in different parts of the country. So she's surprising half, I'm surprising half, and then we're going to bring them all together in Colorado with Bruce. And we're one big happy family.
That's awesome.
I love it. Well, we don't want to keep you too long because I know you're all the way on the East Coast, and we appreciate you so much for just tuning in at 1 o'clock in the morning. And we also are going to talk to Bruce a little later. So do you have any message you want us to pass along to Bruce?
Oh, it's funny. I just spoke with him about 30 minutes ago.
Of course you did.
He knows I love him, and tell him I'll see him soon.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for talking to us, Chris. Chris, please come back on our show.
Guys.
Talk to us about the next episodes to come. We love you guys.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, you're going to love this, actually. Heidi is spearheading the next episode.
Yes, we saw.
It was a transformation that she took on. So you're really going to like this.
Can you give us any little sneak peeks about the next episode what we can look forward to?
Oh, my gosh. I will say that the woman now is totally unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a twist at the very beginning. Believe it or not, I actually didn't think she was ready for it. And so I was not fully supportive of the whole thing. Heidi spearheaded the whole thing, and boy, did they prove me wrong. And I couldn't be happier about it.
Well, as Josh Morton says, Heidi is a bulldog, but we love the bulldog fight in her.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Josh speaks the truth.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chris, and give all our love to Heidi and the kids, and thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah.
Will do. Thanks so much for having me on. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good night. Amazing, 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 amazing.
She's going to sing all day.
I love them.
I do.
I know you guys are excited that we just talked to Chris because, like, how amazing is he? Inspirational, motivational. Like, this episode was the best episode.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It definitely was. And I mean, even from the very beginning, which is what I love so much about Chris, is he just dives right in. There's no like, let me get to know you. It's like, no, look, this is the issue. This is what we got to do. This is how we're going to handle it. And then, of course, Bruce, who we are going to be talking to a little bit later on to get his insight on this whole incredible year and talk about what he has in store. But Chris just has this ability to go in, know exactly what he needs to zero in on, and he gets those results. And Bruce just took it like a champ every single step of the way. Rarely did he ever complain. He pushed through.
Not one complaint. What I love so much about Bruce and what I loved about this episode is literally he was positive the whole time. He had the worst circumstances and he could have been negative. He could have made excuses. He could have played the victim. But he was like, boom, yeah, right, do. Like, he was awesome, and he always had a smile on his face. And I just think that he needs to be imitated. Just his sheer joy and happiness. I loved him, and I loved this episode.
I do. And, I mean, even from, he even said, especially obviously with everything that he was going through with his dad and, being in jail and all of these different things. And one of the things that I loved is he said his coaches really stepped in. I think that even to me was like that moment where you even see how important like sports and teachers and coaches and all of these things are to a young kid's life, because when he didn't have that, he said, my coaches stepped in a huge way. And he even, quoting him, he says, I want to be that person to somebody else. And
that's right.
He's not just that person for someone, he's that person for every single person that watched this episode and even beyond.
And just kind of like what you said, Chris definitely zones right in. Bruce started out 382 pounds, and Chris took him to Red Rock, and he was picking at him again, He was just like, that's not good enough. Do it again. What's going on? Do better. And I think Bruce was just like, I can't hear this negative stuff anymore. And Chris said, you've got to kill that voice. Yep. And that voice was just his dad playing in his head. So Chris went right in and poke. But it was awesome because, Bruce was like, I can do this. And I just love that part of the show where Chris is like, gonna get the bad stuff, but turn it into positive.
Yeah, I don't even think that was 10 minutes into the episode, and I was already like, when Bruce was crawling up those stairs, I almost felt like I was like crawling with him. I was like, come on, Bruce, you can do it. But what I loved about him is that he realized, I think that day was such a transformation, even breakthrough in that moment of realizing that this journey was not just going to be about let's lose some weight and gain some muscle and all of these other crazy things. I think he realized in that moment that in order to completely transform, he had to transform physically, but even more so, he needed to transform emotionally, spiritually, all of the above. And I was just beyond impressed. So I cannot wait to hear from him.
I want to talk to him so badly. I want to talk to this. I want to hear him say boom.
Or get freaking pumped.
Yeah, get pumped. And I really loved how when he was doing the goal, he said that he wanted to lose 112 pounds. And he was like, I don't know, what's crazy? I want to do it. So.
Well, get Mr. Freaking Pumped himself is actually on the phone. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yay!
We're pumped. That's what's going on. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good, actually.
I mean, I have to ask, this must be obviously that year had to be absolutely amazing, but what has today been like, just to get all the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, the messages of how many people that you have inspired by watching your episode today?
It's been incredible. It's just been nonstop, and I'm really humbled. Actually, I'm humbled and grateful for that it was that so many people have been inspired, and I just feel like that's what I was put on this earth to do, and this was my opportunity to be a voice for anybody that's ever gone through similar kind of situations, just to be that voice. And tonight, finally, that's why I feel I was put on this earth, and I was able to get that opportunity. So it's just really humbling, is what it is.
I think it was just so awesome. Like Chris said that you're an angel on this earth, and I totally agree.
Yep.
Your story is so amazing, and you're inspiring so many people. You're awesome, Bruce. We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And what was it like, obviously working with Chris and Heidi over that entire year? And then, of course, Chris gave us a little sneak peek that you guys are going to be working even more together in the future.
Yep. They've taken me under their wing. I love those two with all my heart, and they've taken me under their wing, and I'm going to be working with them, and it's just great. I mean, there's not a better two people on this earth to work for and a better example. I mean, those guys are the real deal. There's no doubt. You guys just talk to them, and what you see is what you get. He's not your typical reality star trainer. Him and Heidi, they're the real deal. I mean, they're the total freaking package. And I'm just lucky enough to be a part of them now, and it's going to be awesome. We're just going to get pumped on everything and just change people's lives. That's the whole goal now.
What kind of response have you gotten back from the school that you worked at?
From the school that I coached at?
Yes.
Oh, nothing but nonstop. My players actually were all with me tonight as we had a viewing party. And
that's awesome.
We were getting back on life and just getting pumped up, and the players all told me, they were just like, Coach, we had no idea. And they said, you've been so awesome for us. So it's been a great response.
That's awesome. And Bruce, me personally, I was on an emotional roller coaster. I'm like crying, I'm laughing, we're screaming, we're getting pumped in the seats watching the show. And one of the things that I admire most about you, and that was so touching not only for us, but even getting the responses from the viewers, is you taking your stance against your father, especially in the courtroom. What was that like for you, and why did you feel that at that moment that was important for you to do in this process?
It was just the strength of the whole year of coming along. I mean, if you saw it when Chris first told me that, I was like, you guys, I was like, you need to back off with that. I was like, I'm not ever going to do it. And just as the year went on, I started to realize more and more, you know what, I have a break in life, and to be an opportunity to get rid of all the guilt that I felt of, like, maybe if I would have said things years ago, and I would have came out with my stuff earlier, then other kids wouldn't have been victimized and so forth. And I felt like, you know what, this is a way for me to get it off my chest and say, you know what, I'm finally going to make a stand, and I'm going to say something, and maybe it saves somebody else's life, and that's how I started to convince myself that it's okay to do it, and you can do it. And all that support that I had that day, that's the reason I was able to stand up and get to that point. There's no way without all that support that could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Did Chris share with you about his transformation and how you kind of changed his heart in that courtroom? You know, because he was kind of furious in this situation, but he said seeing your heart and your heart of forgiveness, it really transformed his heart. Did he share that with you?
Yes, he just shared that with me. Him and Heidi both have, and it was awesome. He shared it with me in person and stuff. We had a great talk. He actually said it changed the whole complexion of everybody from the executive producers to the bottom. They were going to portray it so much differently, and they were just like, you know what, that's the way we're going to portray it, the way that it just happened. And so it was really awesome. It was really awesome.
And I was so happy for you when you got to meet Jerry Rice and, of course, Rocket. I mean, what was going through your mind, you know, walking into the Raiders Stadium and then also meeting Jerry Rice? I mean, you had such amazing opportunities across that year.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Raider Nation in the house. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I love the Raiders. Eat, drink, and sleep. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a tattoo on my arm that says Raiders just win, baby, you know. And
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, I do, and I have a Clint Eastwood tattoo too, and that's a story of itself. But yeah, that was the greatest moment ever. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet and everything, and it wasn't just the gist of it. Just going through the whole Raiders facility was awesome. Meeting Jerry Rice, meeting the Rocket. In fact, me and the Rocket, we still text to this day and stay in touch. It's freaking awesome. It's just like, it's a dream come true. I mean, it's like that Make-A-Wish Foundation for an adult is what happened to me, basically. So,
you know what?
And
Chris said, you know, he's never worked with anybody as driven as you. You are so passionate. Just kind of tell me how you stay so positive throughout everything.
Well, you know, it just is a way that I just look at life, and just the way that that's just a gift, I guess, I was given, and that's the way I look at it, is it was a gift that I was given. I'm not the smartest tool on the block, don't have to spell anything or do things like that, but, you know, what I'll bring passion, I'll bring excitement, and that's what I'm all about, and I feel like that's my gift, and that's just what I've stuck with, and I love it so much, and I just always say, my quote is, you don't inherit your attitude, you choose your attitude. And that's just the way I look at it.
I love that.
So,
and one of the things that I loved, you said this at the very end, you know, looking back at your old self, is that, you know, a lot of people either look down at what they used to be and all of these things, but one of the things that you said that I was extremely impressed with is you said, you know, that person actually, he lived life to the fullest, and he was passionate, and he did all of these things. There were just some areas that you needed to work on, and I think that that was such a great message to so many people, because I think we get stuck in, when we do have things we need to work on, that can be such a downer that you're not passionate about life. But I could see even in that very beginning, before the transformation happened, that you were extremely passionate about everything that you did.
Yeah, no, that is for sure. That's just the way I live life. My friend, he posted a picture of me just like 2 days before the episode came out, and it just did everything justice. Like, Heidi got a hold of it somehow, and she reposted it. And she said, this picture here is 1,000 words. And it was me, my biggest that I've ever been, holding a big old plate of food, just with a smile on my face, just like, yeah. And that's just, I mean, that's the way I lived. And I've been an ultimate Jazz fan. I've won tickets here for Utah. I used to wear a football helmet and paint my face and wear a cape. So, like, it's just been a part of me, and I love it. And that's just the way I looked at life, and I got it from Jerry Sloan, a basketball coach. I remember the Jazz had a rough loss, and he was like, you know what the problem was? We were out feeling sorry for ourselves. We were doing poor me. And I was like, you know what? I'm never going to feel sorry for myself or do poor me, because I'm going to give a good effort every day.
Absolutely.
So that's the way I looked at it.
And Bruce, I have to ask, okay, so you're this awesome guy, you're positive, you're outgoing, and I saw in one of the last pictures, when you were showing you revealed your looks, you kind of did the Zoolander face, you did the little kissy face, you were posing with your new haircut, you looked great. So my question is, a girl would be stupid to not want to be with you. Are you dating? What's going on? Girls want to know.
Well, I'm just ready just to have a good time right now, just meet some meet some girls and just have a good old time, and let's roll with it. That's the way I look at it. You know, this is my opportunity now, and I mean, I'm not trying to say this in a bad way, and I don't hope I offend any girls, but I don't think I can just lock down on the first girl I meet. So that's just the way I look at it, and heck, I'm available. So anybody out there, just let me know.
Yeah, you're a busy man. You're about to go on, you know, this new adventure, season 5 with Chris and Heidi. So you're going to be a busy man.
Yeah, very busy man, very busy. But I can make time for the ladies. Don't worry, I can make the time.
That is good to know. I'm sure all the ladies out there watching are so much more comforted. That's great. And I think, speaking of that, even with the makeover, that was probably one of my favorite scenes too. Just because, one, you're hilarious, and two, to see you in that chair getting your eyebrows waxed, Bruce, I was hysterically laughing, and I loved every minute of it.
What did the football players say? Did they give you mess for that?
Yeah, that was one thing I was hoping they would not see in my episode, dreading that one final thing. I thought in Denver boot camp for sure, I thought, okay, this will be all right behind closed doors. Nobody will know this is going on. I will not repeat this to anybody. And sure enough, it was right there on my episode. So, because it's funny, because I made fun of Chris one day when he was filming. I said, Chris, are you wearing skinny jeans right now? I was like, are you kidding me? And then the next thing I know, by my finale, I'm in skinny jeans, and I'm like, no way, I never thought this would happen. So
the question is, do you still get your eyebrows waxed?
I have not had my eyebrows waxed since then, but I keep a good eye on them to see if I need to.
Here you go. You tweeze them here and there, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Fine tune them.
That's awesome.
We asked Chris the same question, but of course have to ask you, what for you was probably the most memorable or pivotal moment in your whole year of transformation?
For sure the parole hearing was without a doubt. That was the really the turning point. It actually took a few days afterwards. I mean, I had to process everything that went on afterwards, and I just had to have some moments, and they were great about the show, and I don't know if I'm even supposed to say this, but I don't even care. You guys know me by now enough. You know what? They supply therapy for you and everything. So like I worked out some things with my therapist, and like that was really the defining moment afterwards, and it really closed the door, and I was like, you know what? I can do amazing things, and that's what that's what I have to do, and that's what makes me happy. So that was the biggest moment for sure.
Yeah, and I love that, and I think especially even in the closing of the episode that you all really spoke to that and really made opening that door of opportunity for other people that may be going through similar things or issues and not wanting to speak up. If you have any advice for anybody that may be in either a similar situation or know something about that, what would you say?
I would just say, you know what? Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid, and they need to know that that somebody out there loves them and loves them with all their heart. And if I could just see those people, just know that I would give you the biggest hug in the world. Like if I saw that person, all they want is a hug. They don't need a compliment. They don't need anything. It's as simple and as far as just a simple hug. And I would love that person to know that hug is right here. You might not get it in person, but I'm hugging you from wherever I'm in right now, and know that I love you, and that and there are people that truly love you, and you can get through it. That is the bottom line. And because they don't, when the way at least I felt is when I went through it, you were never looking for that compliment. It was just as simple as somebody just giving you a hug and just telling you, you know what, I truly love you. Like that is when I feel like that was like the moment, so that's what I feel. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're just so inspiring to talk to watch, and I really enjoyed the episode and just your positivity. You're really going to change so many people's lives. So I'm just honored that I even got to talk to you today. You're awesome. I'm just going to keep using that word.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm grateful just to be on the show. It's sweet.
So what's next for Bruce? Like, what are you up to? What can we look forward to? What's going on in 2014 for Bruce?
Well, I'm working on a book, and so forth. So, and actually my producer is actually helping me with that. So what better guy to know to help put my story together and do it. And just working with Chris and Heidi and basically for life and being a life coach. Like, I'll get back into coaching football, but right now I'm going to coach people in life. It's going to be a different kind of coaching. It's going to be coaching people in life and just to inspire. And I got the same tattoo as Chris on my side. I don't know if he mentioned that.
No,
he
didn't.
Yeah, we got identical tattoos and he has the one, he's already had it all the way down to the million. He has the 1 million mark, and he told me he wanted me to get it as well. So I have the same tattoo down my side to try to pay it forward and impact 1 million people. So that's my mission. That's my goal. So that's what I got to do. So
you guys are brothers, literally brothers.
Yeah, we really are. We really are.
Can I ask
He's my bro and Heidi's my big sister.
Oh.
I just want to ask one question. It's kind of off. Like, just one silly moment or funny moment that we didn't see on camera, just even maybe yesterday or 2 days ago between you and Chris, or even Heidi maybe, that you can just share with us. I just want to know what goes on behind closed door with all three of you guys.
Oh, God. I don't even know where to start. We have so many things. I have seen some of the craziest things with those two, and I don't even know where to start with them, but it's been just, I don't know, it's just been some funny things. It's so funny to see them in their element and just be around them so much, that they're so real people just like us. I don't know. I don't even know where to start, really. I don't even know what story to even think about. God, they would not get mad at me for saying is the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
Look, the last person
I have plenty that I could say, but I don't know what they would think about.
Yeah, don't make Heidi mad. So you just keep those stories to yourself. We'll just know that there were lots of really great and amazing ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, Bruce, it has been absolutely amazing talking to you. Thank you so much just for calling in and reaching out. And is there anything else that you want to say to anyone that may be listening and inspired by your story?
Hey, just wake up every day. This is my thing, is I challenge everybody when I do motivational speeches and stuff, is I just challenge you when your alarm goes off, is don't sit there and hit the snooze button. Jump out of bed as fast as you can and throw the covers up and say you're the man, and I promise you your day is going to start off the right way. I promise you it will. So that's just my advice. So, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
We love you, Bruce.
Yes, thank you
Love
so
you guys
much,
too.
Bruce.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night. Wait, one more. Boom.
Oh, darn. We'll boom for him.
Boom.
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 Chris and Bruce, they're absolutely amazing.
They're awesome. I love them. I'm just so glad that we got to talk to them tonight. That my dreams have come true.
Yeah, and I mean, they pretty much talked about most of the episode. And I mean, total, we got down to, he was 382 when he started. His goal was 191 pounds, and he lost a total of 201 pounds, getting down to 181 pounds total.
It was nuts.
From 382.
Nuts. In 6 months, he lost 168 pounds. And he looked completely different at 6 months. He looked awesome. And I think it was awesome, too, when he showed his guns. I was like, oh, he's got muscles. You see those muscles? And
watching his mom's face and the football players in the final weigh-in, which is absolutely amazing, because you could just see how proud they were of him, because his mom especially has been there every single step of the way.
Yeah, this was probably, like I said before, hands down the best episode. I loved it. I love Bruce's attitude, Chris's attitude. This season's not even over yet. I'm ready to see season 5. I'm ready to get into season 5 and see them all together, work together. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, they have those matching tattoos of the 1 million mark. I think he is going to impact way more than 1 million people with his story. So I personally am very excited to see what is in store for Bruce.
Yeah, he's just going to be inspiring a bunch of people. And he's going to be working with Chris and Heidi. Like, they're the best mentors ever. So I'm excited to see that as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? And of course, for all of you guys tuning in, make sure you like us on iTunes, giving us 5 stars if you want to see, hear more, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, and if you're watching this right now, make sure you comment below. Let us know what you think about Bruce, how amazing he is, and let us know what you think about Chris and Heidi and all the little sneak peeks that they told us about next episode. I'm really excited to watch next episode and see Heidi take the lead. This is exciting.
Absolutely. In fact, let's get into some predictions. My favorite.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Predictions. You know what? I am extremely excited about next week because, as anybody listening knows, we are Team Heidi. We absolutely love her. Team Heidi, and she is actually going to be spearheading the episode next week. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think is going to go down?
Well, I don't know. You know, Chris told us that he kind of didn't believe in this woman, and when Heidi takes the stand, Heidi takes the stand. It's not a little stand. She speaks her voice. So I think that it's going to be really awesome to see kind of the dynamic between the two, having Heidi in control the whole time. So I think it's going to be great just to see Chris kind of behind the scenes a little bit and let Heidi take the lead.
Yeah.
But I think Heidi, as we see, she's already so much in people's lives, even when Chris is taking more of the leadership role. So I think with Heidi, I know she's just going to change this woman's life. She's so positive.
No, absolutely. And I think that I'm actually really excited to see the dynamic between Chris and Heidi through this, because usually Chris is kind of like the spearheading one, but, you know, that's probably going to be really hard to, like, take a step back and like just kind of let Heidi do her thing, because you know Chris is so passionate about everybody that comes through. So I think it is going to be very interesting.
Very interesting. I was a little scared there. I saw them kind of bickering and I'm like, no, don't fight. But I think it's just like they're both so passionate.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited to see Heidi train this woman and change her life. So I'm excited for our next episode.
Yes, we are excited. Hopefully you guys are excited too. And that's all we got for you, AfterBuzz TV Extreme Weight Loss Edition. Again, I am Morgan Martin, and you can follow me at Instagram and on Twitter at ms_Morgan Martin.
And I'm Jackie Powell. You can find me at Jackie_POW on Instagram.
And of course, follow us at AfterBuzz TV.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.